Hello everyone, J Marks here, working with the Cross Timbers Gazette, interviewing notable people in the community, aspiring politicians and people of interest. And Rob, you definitely qualify as all three in my opinion.
Thank you.
You know, Rob Rawson is a citizen here in Flower Mound and is running for place 4 for Flower Mound Town Council. And today I thought it'd be a good idea to find out a little bit about you and tell us why. I mean, you got some beautiful signs, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Good, so tell us a little bit about you, Rob.
Well, I've been in Flower Mound for almost 25 years, moved here in 2000. And my wife and I came here because we were looking for a place that we would be happy to raise our growing family. When we moved here, my mom and dad, my older sister, my older brother, my twin brother, all lived in Flower Mound. And so it was a great community for us. I'm particularly inspired to give back to the community. Several years ago, we had an unfortunate event in our family, and the support we received from the entire community, people we didn't even know reaching out, was overwhelming. And that inspired me to accelerate the rate at which I was involved in various community activities. In 2016, I was appointed to the to the Charter Review Commission for Flower Mound, and in 2017 through 2021, I served on the Planning and Zoning Commission, including a term as vice chair. So I've got a certain perspective on how our town works, and I believe our town works best when we carefully listen to all the stakeholders when we make a decision. Our town represents a wide number of people. We have 80,000 souls in Flower Mound, and they don't always all agree.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
if
really
we
don't.
listen and approach decisions with an open mind, with a perspective of intentionally making the best choice for the town, we can usually craft a solution that will at least get the support of the majority of people involved, rather than approaching negotiations as a win-lose proposition.
Right.
If we approach it from a win-win perspective, I think we'll have a much better outcome.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. You know, Rob, you have been involved. I've seen you at the Summit Club. I've seen you volunteer at different events around town. I've heard you speak at town council. What is it that you guys love about the direction of Flower Mound?
One, like so many of us here, I love its open, country-like feel. It's not the same as it was when I first moved here 24 and a half years ago, but it retains significant portions of the character that make it so attractive. It's a very safe community. I don't worry if my wife wants to go out running at night that something horrible will happen. And it's also a friendly community. You know, we have great friends and neighbors in town. And I've found, like you say, with groups such as the Summit Club, such as the Boy Scouts, people who are really willing to volunteer and try and make our community better. They're committed to the community, and I love that. As I say, this place comes as close to a hometown as I've ever had. My dad was in the Air Force, and so we moved all over the country.
Right.
And, but once we all got to be adults, there was never a time when so many of us lived so close as when we lived here in Flower Mound. And I just love this town.
I've met several members of your family. You do have a close family. Now, you and your wife, I believe, are both educators. You're a scientist.
Yes, my profession was biochemistry and molecular genetics. For 25 years, I was at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center. That's where I received my PhD in development and genetics from the Department of Biochemistry. And then I did my postdoctoral fellowship in the Department of Molecular Genetics with our Nobel laureates Mike Brown and Joe Goldstein studying cholesterol metabolism. I then was invited to join that department as a faculty member and served on that department until 2012. Since then, I've spent the majority of my time with Western Governors University teaching pathophysiology and biochemistry to nursing students.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, well, I want you to know that I had a hard time with algebra too, so, definitely
Me too.
really good. Rob, tell me something. What do you think is the next big thing for Flower Mound? I mean, there's lots of opinions out there. What do you think Flower Mound needs to focus on next?
We need to focus on diversifying our tax base so that we can relieve some of the burden on owners of residential property. We're essentially what they might call a bedroom community, but even so, our mix of commercial with residential tax base is suboptimal. It's not horrible, but we get about a fifth of the tax revenues from commercial, and we really should be aiming to push that up closer towards a third.
Okay, got it. Rob, if you had an opportunity to maybe wave a magic wand, what's something that you would wish for Flower Mound?
I wish that I owned all the open property so that I could dictate that it stayed open. Of course, that presumes I was rich enough not to need the property to do
Right.
it. But the fact is, as an owner of private property, I respect the fact that Texas has very strong protections for the rights of property owners to use their property.
Right, exactly. And you know what? Being in the real estate business, I definitely see both sides of that. Okay, last question. If you could tell the voters of Flower Mound one thing about why they should vote for Rob Rawson for town council, look into the camera, what would you say?
Voting for me would be voting for a commitment to listening and carefully considering every issue, rather than coming forward with an absolutely fixed position before the issues are ever presented. I think if we listen carefully to everybody who has concerns about an issue, we can craft a solution that will, if not gratify, at least satisfy the great majority of the people involved.
Very good. Everyone, meet my friend Rob Rawson and go to his Facebook page, Rawson for Flower Mound, to find more about him. And if you want, get one of these great signs and put it in your yard. Rob, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it.
You bet. Good luck in the polls.
Yes. Thank you.